Welcome back to my podcast. This is your man Ricky. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a great day. Today, I want to talk about learn to adapt to change. I think people are having a hard time adapting to change, and I know it can be hard. But I want you to think about it like this. Just think of it like as the weather. Let's say in the wintertime, when it's cold in the wintertime, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to put more clothing on. We have to adapt with the weather. Now you know the fall is coming. I mean, the spring is coming. I'm sorry, spring is coming. And once spring is over, summer's coming. We're going to start taking off less and less clothing you're going to be wearing because it's going to be hot. So now we're learning to adapt and embrace what's going on with the weather. That's life. This is how things are done. I've learned throughout my years, and I want to start with myself first, is I was afraid of change. I'm serious. Back in 1990, from 1999 to 2002, I was in college at Shaw University, and I graduated in 2002. I was afraid to use the computer because I was so used to using the typewriter. I did not want to move on to the computer. I was afraid. So I had my lady she would do all of my typing for me. So I would do the legwork and she would type it up for me. So I was the grunt. I did the grunt work. So she would type it for me. I was afraid to touch a computer. I did not know that I needed to learn computer because I said, why should I learn it? But you know what? Yes, I had to learn it because it was part of life with me through the job I was doing working in the police department. Because when I had to do policies, some things I can't allow other people to see when it came to the police department, like policies. Those are things I had to focus on and I had to type up. So I had to learn this the hard way. And I'm glad I learned it because now in my job that I have now, I'm in front of my computer screen approximately almost 12 hours per day in front of my computer. Every day for 6 days a week in front of my computer. So I'm glad I learned it and I embraced the change, something that I was afraid of because I was comfortable. I was afraid of being uncomfortable. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. I want to stay right in that little area where I was comfortable at and stay there. But to grow, you got to be uncomfortable. And that's the way life is. And I'm going to fall back onto something that we all remember. You remember back in the 90s where if you was in your car, say you was going out or something, but you had to call home. In our era, we didn't have the real cell phone. We had to stop at a payphone and call home. Hey, to check on our mom, see how everybody's doing. We would call on the cell phone, on the payphone, check on everybody. That's how we had to do things back then. But now technology is well advanced. So from that era, we went from the big cell phone to the house phones where you had the dial phones. And I'll never forget this. My parents had this orange phone from 1980 to the time I graduated high school. That phone stayed in the house long, long time because understood my mom did not want that changed. They didn't want to deal with new technology because they was afraid to, I guess, to embrace it. And I understand it now. I didn't understand it then. I was like, why don't they just put a regular phone in there and it'd be a lot more easier? But I can't think in their mindset because I don't know what they were thinking at that time. But I understand it more now as an older adult. I understand it a lot more. But here's the thing, guys, and I want to hit this story as well. Well, like I said, my stepfather, I've talked about him many times, guys, but my stepfather was a sharecropper. People always say, look it up so you can actually learn the full definition of what it means. I'm going to give you a brief little part of it, but I'm going to get to a key point. All a sharecropper is a person who works for an overseer. He's worked for this guy who pays the rent. You live rent-free. You don't have to pay no kind of car payments and stuff because he's going to take care of all of that stuff for you. So you don't have to worry about it because you're on his property and you are taking care of his farming, all his crops and his livestock and stuff. So there was no need for you to worry about anything because he's going to pay everything. But now, once you leave, you're on your own. So let me get to this point. Once, I guess, the overseer had passed away, at this point, we all have almost grown. I think I'm the last one that's turning 18 because the other two brothers were younger than I were. And as 82, we ended up building a house to move into. This is a big change for my stepfather, for my mom. It's a big change because this is what happens when you don't be ready for change. Yes, we were living for free air. Yes, we had to pay no rent. We had to pay no water bill because we didn't have running water. So we had to worry about none of that stuff. But once we got this house built, now reality began to set in with my parents. They was like, this is new to us. You got to pay your own car payment. You have to pay your own rent now. Because we are now faced with big changes because Back then, he didn't have to worry about that stuff. And another thing that he was facing was now that he was out of his element, his comfort zone, he had to figure out, I got to get a job. I got to now work a real job. I think he ended up getting a job working for this people that had livestock, and some of the stuff that he was working in, I think it kind of contributed to giving him cancer and for him passing away. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is change can be hard for others. Change can be easy for other people. Regardless of how we think of change, change is going to happen regardless. It's happening right now. It's going to happen tomorrow, every day. It's like climate control. You know what I'm saying? People don't believe in it. I do. You know, have you all noticed that we're having a lot more tornadoes lately? Have you noticed that? I've noticed it. A lot more tornadoes. Not only that, a lot more earthquakes. So, you know, so it's happening. It's a lot more stuff happening that we're going to have to adapt to it. And sorry, global warming. I saw something a couple of days ago where it's getting so bad. I can't remember where it's at, guys. Y'all kind of tell me where it's at. Wherever polar bears are at. The ice is melting so bad that they almost run out of space to live wherever it's at. Global warming is happening right in front of our eyes. So we have to be prepared to change and adapt with it. We got to adapt to what's going on in society. We have to be prepared for it. Because if you're unprepared, I can promise you one thing. You ain't got to worry about it. Because a lot of people don't understand. You ever heard of archaeologists or whatever you call them? I can't pronounce the word good, guys. Sorry. They're going to doing a dig, and they're going to find your bones stuck against a rock as a fossil because you are so left behind because you're not willing to change. Not because you're not willing to change, because as like I was comfortable being comfortable. I didn't want to be uncomfortable, and I understand that. But it has to change now because everything I'm telling you is happening right in front of your eyes. If I'm telling you something wrong, just look out there and look how things are constantly changing, and just watch how things are moving around now. You got the different type of vehicles now. You got vehicles now that you don't have. You can sit in the car and go to sleep, and the car drive itself. That's technology is changing. We went from the flip phone to what the iPhones and stuff now. Look how things have changed, and we had to adapt throughout the years with these changes. This is part of life, and it is what it is. And I remember reading a quote from James Baldwin, and it says, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. Until you face it, you can change it. If you don't face it, you're not going to change it." That's part of life, part of us being human beings, knowingly that change is coming. We roll with the punches, or you get punched out. It's just the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. It's going to continue to be like that throughout life. Change is happening everywhere. All I'm saying is learn how to adapt and embrace it. Embrace change. You can, like I said, embrace it. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I will never tell you that. That's lying to you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard as hell. But you know what? Stay in the fight. Keep fighting. It's going to get better. I promise you to get better. But you have to stick with fight. You can't go down without a fight. Don't stop fighting, guys. I love y'all. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. Take care of yourself, guys.